Put a finger down if you caught your husband cheating on you last night. Last night, after my husband put our baby to bed, he told me he was going to go out riding with his boys. Anyone who knows anyone who rides, motorcycles, bikes, Harleys, they always ride in groups. So I asked him, what time are they pulling up to the house? He said they're not. They're all going to meet up at the usual gas station. Red flag. There's always a minimum of 2 people that always come to our house and they all ride out together. So why is this night any different? I don't say anything. I just keep my eye on him and pay attention to the little details, right? As he's getting ready, he doesn't even put his riding ring on. And he sprays on our date night cologne. But we're not going on a date. So what's going on? While he's getting ready, I take his phone when he's not looking. Eventually, when he realizes he can't find his phone, he asks me, hey, babe, have you seen my phone? No, I didn't even see you bring it inside. As he's outside looking for his phone, I have only a couple seconds until he gets back and realizes it's probably in the house. So I send his location to myself and I delete it, put the phone in the cushions of the couch, and walk away like I did not know nothing. He comes back inside, tears up the whole entire house, eventually finds his phone in the cushion, texts somebody, and tells me, all right, babe, I'm leaving now. Bye, love you. And takes off on his bike. Leaves with not even a kiss. Doesn't even give me a kiss, a hug, nothing. I am fuming at this point. I have a baby upstairs sleeping, and God knows what he's doing. What do I do? So I call a friend, ask if she can come over and help watch the baby, and if I can use her car. Luckily, she lives only 10 minutes away from me. She came over right away, asked me what's going on, and I couldn't even give her an answer. I just told her I'm about to find out. She gave me her keys. She told me to be safe and let her know if I need her. As I'm sitting in her car, I pull up his location, and I notice he's at a house, and a house that I've never been at. Oh, and it's down the street. GPS says it's about 13 minutes away. Cool. I'll be there in 7. I am praying I don't get pulled over. I am praying that I'm not going to find something I don't want to find out. I'm having a full-on conversation with God at this point. I pull up to this house and there's a rager. Big-ass party. Everyone's there. I did see the homeboys who were supposed to be riding with him, that they were meeting at the usual gas station. They were there. They all had their bikes parked outside. But guess whose bike is in the garage? Oh, so you're familiar. You're comfortable with this location. Like, you've been here before. It's in the garage. There were people everywhere. There were people in the front yard. It looked like there were people in the backyard. People were going in and out of the house. But I didn't see my husband anywhere. And if he's not with his boys, who is he with? I walked my happy ass right in there, right through the front door. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go in there. I'm going to find my man and see what he's doing. This house was huge. Huge. I went everywhere and could not find him. And it seemed like the party was in the main level. No one was upstairs. So I was like, you know what? He's probably upstairs. He's probably upstairs. And I'm trying my best to not lose my shit. Because you never want anyone to see you crying. No vulnerability, no weakness. I make my way up these stairs and I hear a female's giggle. And my heart knew. I knew it. I just, you know when you know. I'm upstairs and I follow the sounds and I hear my husband's voice. I walked up to this door and I noticed it was a little creaked. They didn't even have the decency to shut the door completely. Like, you couldn't just give it another second to shut the door completely. This door is cracked. I peek in. and I see my husband on top of another woman. And I'm broken. My heart broke. Okay, get ready with me while I talk about my crazy roommate. Okay, so honestly, I should have known from day one, but it was our first night sleeping in the house, and I had recruitment the next morning at like 4 a.m. So I was going to bed super early, and I'm a super light sleeper, and so I woke up in the middle of the night to my door creaking open, but I obviously like opened my eyes and nobody came in, and I was like, okay, whatever. And I started having this really weird dream. I think is it like called a lucid? I don't really know what it's called. No, that's definitely not what it's called. Anyways, I started having this really weird dream that a cat was like in my face just meowing at me, and I don't like cats, so it was like a bad dream, but it wasn't really a bad dream, if you know what I mean. Like, it was just like a I hate cats type of dream. And eventually I wake up and I am still hearing the meowing in my face. So I turn over and I turn my lamp on, and my roommate is in my bed meowing. So I wake her up and I'm like, what the heck are you doing? Hello? And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, I must have sleepwalked, I don't really know, into your room. Like, I'm so sorry. I was like, oh, like, it's fine. Like, I get it, go to bed. So she leaves, whatever. So I brought it up the next morning and I was like, why were you meowing? Like, that's so weird. And she was like, I have no idea. Like, that's so crazy. Anyways, nothing happens for like 2 weeks. Like, we're good. Like, her and I are hanging out. We're going to the gym all the time. And one morning I'm about to go to my 8 a.m. and I walk out and I'm about to make my breakfast and it smells horrible. Like tuna. Like, it just smelled like bad. And that same roommate is at the stove cooking something. And I was like, oh my God, what are you making? That smells horrible. And she was like, oh, I'm just making breakfast. And I was like, okay, yeah, what are you making? And she was like, oh, just like eggs and stuff. And I was like, that's so weird because there's not a single egg in that pan. But whatever. So I finish my breakfast and I'm going to throw away my Celsius. And when I open the trash, there is a cat food can, like a wet cat food can, at the top of the trash can. I was like, okay. I didn't say anything about it because at this point I was like, oh my God, it's just this girl like trying to pretend like she's a cat. What is happening? So I didn't say anything. And then last night I started to lock my door when I go to sleep, just because I don't want to be woken up just because you sleepwalk. So last night I wake up to something scratching at my door. And I watch horror movies all the time. Like, I know not to open my door when something is scratching at my door. So I don't open it. But eventually it's like I can't fall asleep because it's so loud. So I go and open the door. My roommate is on her hands and knees scratching my door. And she tries to run into my room on her hands and knees. Like, crawl run into my room. Like, what? Anyways, I am literally moving out, so it doesn't matter. But holy crap, I just had to tell somebody that story because it's crazy. Like, she's actually insane.